Okay, something interesting happened with my wife and my daughter yesterday, and it's interesting, really. Um, I saw that my wife was trying to help Purity with uh, assignment, math assignment, and these were things that Purity already knew. I mean, she can solve them herself and all of that. But she's fond of something. When she's tired of writing or when she's tired of doing anything, for you to leave her alone, she starts saying the opposite or saying, in quote, jargons and all of that. So she was doing the same thing yesterday morning, and my wife screamed at her to get her to do the right thing. Unfortunately for my wife, she kept deliberately writing the wrong thing. So while I was driving her to school, so I told her, I said, Purity, that subject, that math, you know how to solve the problem. So what was it? Why are you not writing the right thing? She said, Daddy, I was angry with mommy. You were angry with mommy. Why were you angry with mommy? She screamed at me. Must she scream? She screamed at you, so you were angry, then you started writing nonsense. She said, she 10 is 10. I told her 10 is on 100. So I smiled. So I had a conversation with her in the car. And it also made me remember there was a time about 2 weeks ago, I screamed at her again. I screamed at her and she looked at me and I said, Daddy, must you scream? Talk small, small, I can hear. So it dawned on me that this is a peculiar child, and every children has their peculiarity. It made me remember, especially when I was having a session with All Right Passion yesterday, made me remember a particular day that I screamed at her, and I think I've written this on in one of my articles. I screamed at her. She was being her normal self, doing what children should normally do. Then I screamed at her. After screaming, almost losing my voice, I had to ask myself, how will I handle this situation if I was dumb, if I cannot talk? How would I have handled this situation? Man, so many parents, your child or your children, they are throwing tantrums and you were hungry. What will you do if you were blind? What will you do if you can't see what they were doing? I mean, your child is shouting in excitement and could not take it, and you could not take it anymore because they were disturbed in your mind, they were disturbing you, and you shut him or her up. So how will you handle this situation if you were there? Until you're able to answer this question sincerely and honestly, you will keep repeating the mistakes of our parents. The mistake we make many times is we punish children for what we don't like and not necessarily what is wrong. We discipline them, we punish them for what we don't like, not necessarily what is wrong, because we have concluded in our mind that since we don't like it, it must be wrong. And children are not mini adults. I mean, they cannot reason, even though they ask too many questions, and they cannot reason. Their mind is not prepared for abstract reasoning, so they just ask questions. So parents must keep repeating and repeating instructions to them. So flogging them, screaming at them, shouting at them does not solve the problem. So your job as a parent is to repeat instruction. That's what the coach do. You repeat instructions several times, again and again and again and again, for the child to be able to understand what you are saying. So they are not mini adults. So they ask many questions, and then you must realize that communicating with them must be your lifestyle. Be patient by repeating yourself. Repetition. Even in leadership, for your followers to get the vision that you are selling to them, you need to imbibe repetition. So repetition must be our lifestyle, constant communication. So you just have to keep repeating what you want them to do and what you want them to know. So parents must understand this. You're screaming at them. Sometimes they are looking at you, okay, why is he screaming? Why is that? The way my daughter say, Daddy, must you scream? You can talk small, I can hear. I mean, it was, I laughed after the scream, but that was a beautiful lesson taught to me by my child. Like I always tell parents, to parent children effectively, to teach them effectively, you must first of all be their student. Study the kind of child that the person is, so that you'll be able to know the method in which you will use to guide the child. I hope you pick up something from this teaching. I have promised myself that this year I'm going to give out content as much as I can, as long as it comes to my unscripted, unplanned, unprepared. As events are happening in my life and around me, and I thought there's something I should talk about, I'm going to share as much as possible. I hope you enjoy this session. Thank you.